So I have asked you about the difference between string with capital S and string with small s.
Yeah, so string with small s we use for declaring the variables, whereas string with
Hmm.
capital S is the class inbuilt class in C Sharp where we deal with the different types of strings. Like
If you see that I am declaring the variable g by using the string variable, and again I'm using the h variable by using string word. So both are same. You cannot say that I cannot declare any variable with string with small s or string with capital S.
but
This is not
system dot capital string is the class which used in system C
okay.
Sharp, right?
Yeah, if I hover over the string with capital S, it says class system dot string. And if I hover over string with small s, it's again saying class system dot string. So both are class. So the first and the main part of the developers of the tester's life, how to search. If you can search anything, you can do anything. Okay. There is nothing difference between the two. The string with small s is a alias of string with capital S. It's
Okay,
a name. Like my name is Abhijit. You can call me Abhi. So Abhi is a alias of Abhijit. If your name is Anantha, somebody call you Anant, somebody call you Nant. So Anant is a alias of Anantha,
okay,
smaller name. You can say your smaller name. Like Abhijit is my full name, and but you can call me Abhi. That's the same thing with string with small s. The main
okay,
thing is string with capital S, and string with small s is a alias of string with capital S. Now, if I
okay.
suppose, now I think I know that you have searched on Google.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
suppose I say difference between string with capital S in C sharp with string with small s. I think so. You have searched like this, maybe. Okay. If you see here, string and system, string are basically the same thing. And string with uppers is a class name. So you have this type is you see, it says C sharp. This type is alias with the keyword string with lower s. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
if you see that if I go with this, I don't know whether somebody has seen. But if you see what are the difference between these two, which one should I use? Mm, somebody has sent something.
Yeah, the
Uh,
I gone through the Stack Overflow only. Stack
okay, that yeah,
Overflow,
yeah, you have, but I think so. Nobody has said this thing that this is a
uh,
alias.
and also C Sharp Corner. Nobody like here also it is not mentioned like alias. This things.
Yeah, if you see, as others have noted, uh, string is an alias for system dot string. If you see, this is the line.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if you see that system string with small s is a alias of system dot string with capital S. Okay, so
Okay.
and the next thing I have told you about, I think so.
And
Uh,
single and double end.
yeah, single and double end. Yeah, tell me.
So if there are two conditions like separated by and single end, the two
Mm-hmm.
conditions will be executed.
Mm-hmm.
Let us say here in this case.
Now suppose if I say, suppose this is A and B, and and there is something like int C equal to 300. Okay. Now
Yeah,
if I say if if A is uh, less than B, okay, and say double and B is less than C, okay, and say something like this. Okay.
yeah.
Now I know A is less than B, it's true, and B is less than C, also it is true. So this condition will okay, and whatever I do here, it goes here. Now I want to know what is the difference between this double and single and.
Yeah, if we have a single separated by single and, both
Mm-hmm.
the cases will be executed and the statement will be like, if the statement is print a, then in that case
Mm-hmm.
statement will be printed.
Mm-hmm.
If double end is there, then right hand side, the first case, if it is like false, let us say uh,
If I
a,
say A is greater than B,
b, if it is false, then in that case it neglects the right hand side. It skips
it
the
may
the right hand side will be skipped
in double and or in single and.
in double end.
Yes, that's the difference.
Yeah,
Okay, that single and will check both conditions,
yeah,
and I know that I have to satisfy both conditions. Now in this double and, we'll check first condition first, and if it is false, then it will not go to second condition, because in and condition both of the conditions to be true. But if it checks for the first condition, if it is false, it will not check for the second condition in the double and in the single and, whether first condition is false or true, it will always check the second condition. Okay, so this is the difference between the two. Okay, now we will move forward and we will do some loops. Okay, for that I will make some new class. Now if you know how to add a new class, just right click on your project here, okay, and say add. You can go for the new item or there is an option there, new class. Okay. Now here I want to go for the new class. Just name your class. Say I will say loops study, okay, and add it. Okay. Now when I add the new class, I always have to add this main method. Why I'm going to add this main method? It will be clear to you uh, in the coming time in the today's class only, that why I have to do this. Okay. Now loops. Okay. Now first of all, while loop. We go for the while loop. Now if you know you about something about while loops.
sorry to stop you. Like, why
Hmm.
you are using this main method?
Yeah, you will get to know
Yeah,
right now. I'm going to tell you why I'm using this main method. Okay. Now suppose I am going for the while loop. Suppose int I equal to 0 and say while I is less than 10. Okay. Okay. Say console dot write line. I want I, and say I equal to I plus 1. And in the end, I will say console dot read key. Okay. Now, you know. that I have do this is this is the simplest while loop.
Yeah,
This is simplest while loop. Now I want to try to run it. But how should I run it? I just go for this.
it will print up to 1 to 9.
Mhm. Now it's giving me error. Okay. Now you see that there is no error over here because I don't see any error. Now if I say, suppose I click on no, I don't want to run it. Now program has more than one entry point defined. Compile with main to specify tab. Now your question comes, why we should use main method? Okay, suppose if I going to comment it. Now if I run this, now what it is doing, it is running this program class.
Can you come again once again?
When I run it, suppose now what I have done it, I have comment out the main method in my new class to show you why I'm going for the main method. Now suppose I have add new class and I have not done anything in this. Now if I want to suppose run anything, or suppose I have made a new function and I want to run this. If I run it, it will always go for the program class, which is main method. And if you see what is the error, and again I just uncommented, and again I will run it, it will give me again an error. If you see, the program has more than one entry point defined. Now
Okay.
this main method is like the whenever my project runs, it will always look for the main method. Whatever the classes I have, it will always look for the main method, because main method is a first execution point of a project. Now I have more than one classes, and every class can have main method, because if you see when I go for the main method, it is not giving me any error. So how can I do that? That I want to run this class as a startup class. So for this, go to your solution explorer, console app, go to your right click on your project name, properties. Okay, now here, if you see startup object, this is not set. Okay, now if you see, it's your class name loop study selected, and close this window. Now if I run it again, it's if I run it again, now you see it is printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this class, which is known as, which I have named as loopstudy.cs, is my startup class. And
Uh,
the
he- Here I
question
had a
for,
query.
yeah.
Every time, like if you create different classes,
Hmm.
that time every class need to be set the property.
Yes, if you want that class to be run for the first time, suppose now sometimes what happens, I made my class to support the other classes. I will make my class, suppose there are reusable functions.
Mm,
Suppose my class has a function in which I will pass two integers, and that function will give me the add of two integers. So I'm
mm,
not going to uh, create main method in that class. Okay, but sometimes what happens in my project, I have when I started the project, this is my startup class. I want this class to be my startup class. But when the project goes on, sometimes what happens, this page will become my startup class. So what should I do? I will just go to my project name, right click on and properties, then select as that class particular as my startup class. And mostly we will do for this understanding, like right now I'm doing the thing which we have done in this class. We have done about, you can say, study data types, studies concatenation, studies uh, operators, conditions. Now I want to study one more thing, so I will make a new class and make that class as my startup class. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So basically, a main method is a startup point of that particular project. I can have more than one main method in my project. So how to make that particular class as a startup file or startup class? Just go to your project, right click on it, go to your properties, and in your startup object, just select your class name.
Class. Mm-mm.
Okay. And after that, just close it. Okay. Now, if you see, this is my initialization.
Yeah.
This is initialization. And this is the
Condition.
condition. And you can say this is a incrementation.
Implementation.
Okay. So this is the whole thing which I'm going to do. Now, you know about, suppose, now if you see, when I do this, it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but it
Yeah.
doesn't print 10.
Because the statement is like less than 10, not equal to 10, right?
Yeah, if I say less than equal to 10, okay, so it will print till 10.
10.
Okay, now this is the thing that we're going to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now suppose if I want to go with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, how can I do that?
Like, yeah.
Just try it.
Yeah. So here we can here what we do is like I is the value of I plus 1, right? So
Mhm.
uh,
Now, if you see again, I'm repeating when I run this, it will go from 0 to 10. I want
yes,
to be 10 to 1 or 10 to 0.
yeah, that only. Like
Mm,
now what we can do, we can
mm,
initialize some like we can use some statement here saying
mhm.
j is equal to
Just suppose there is no program over here. Suppose this is the okay. Just you
okay,
can
you want
dictate
new
me.
program.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then
Mm-hmm.
I minus 1, like I is equal to 10 int I is
Okay,
equal to
and
10, I
mm-hmm.
is equal to 10,
Mm-hmm.
while
Mm-hmm.
I less than or equal to 0.
I is less than or equal to 0. Okay.
No, no, I is equal to 0, not less than or equal to. I is equal to 0. Double
I
is
equal.
equal.
Okay.
Double is equal
Okay.
to 0. Statement is like I is equal to
I equal to
I minus 1.
I minus 1.
Yeah,
Okay. And I will say console dot write line I. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So you're saying this. Okay. So I will run it. So it is not going to
wait.
do anything. Okay. Let's do some breakpoint over here and see what it is doing.
Yeah,
Okay. Now say
yeah, I minus.
I equal to 10. Okay. Now you have declared I equal to 10. If I say F10 now I is equal to 10. Now say I equal to 0. Whether this condition is
No,
true?
no, I minus minus can be done, right?
Where? I minus minus here? Where? Try it. Now you have
Where?
initialize your I to 10. That's the thing. But you want the condition so that it can enter inside this bracket. Now,
Mm-mm-mm.
if you want to enter this bracket, now you are giving the condition as I equal to 0. If you see, when I do this, I is less than 10. I is less than 10. But here, What is I is 0 and I is less than 10. But here I is 10. So what is I? I is greater than 0.
Ah.
See, I'm giving the condition because here I is 0. So I is less than 10. But here
Mm,
I is 10. So I is greater than 0.
yeah.
Whenever this condition is true, it will go inside this bracket.
Mm,
And now if I run this, suppose I will just remove this. Now you see 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
greater than
So
or is equal to. Then you need to.
yeah, if you just say greater than or equal to, then it will print the 0 as well. But
Yeah.
you have to be very sure about your condition. When you give I equal to 0, because here I equal to 10, it will never enter this bracket. It will never get
Yeah.
decremented.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be very careful when you are working with loops. So you have to just first of all you have to understand that whatever the condition, what is the condition you have to provide so that your loop can run. If you see here when you see I equal to 0, I is never equal to 0 because 10 is not equal to 0 because on the first part I is 10 and 10 is equal to 0. No, so it will never enter this. You have to give the condition so that it can enter into this brackets. And now I know that I have to in the reverse order. So I have to say that 10 is greater than 0. Yes, 10 is greater than 0. So it will enter inside this bracket. It will print it. Then I have to increment by 1. Decrement. Decrement it by 1. Okay. So this is while loop. Now, if we talk about for loop, for say int, I just comment this one. Say int I equal to 0. Okay. I is less than 10 and say I plus plus. Okay. What I will do, I will just simple say console dot write line I. Okay. Now if I run this, just just stop it and again
Yeah.
run this. Now it's again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if you see that initialization,
Condition
condition, and incrementation
implementation.
all in the same line.
Line. Yes.
Okay. So in your opinion, I'm asking you, in your opinion, which one is better, for loop or while loop?
Uh, like for loop is better.
For loop is better. Okay, why while loop is not better?
Like here we can uh, just we can give the condition and ease of programming, like we can give the condition as well as in the same like all these things, initialization, condition, and incrementation in the same line, ease
Hmm.
of programming will be there, right?
The thing is that suppose
And also
some.
like in while we are working with like different kind of in rows and columns like matrices, there it
Hmm.
would be easy for us for using with while
Yeah,
loop
when
for.
for loop, yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy for the for loop. Now
Yeah.
suppose what happens in this is while loop will always run. This is the most important. While loop will only run if the condition is true.
Okay.
It will never run for your false condition. Sometimes very helpful while loop that if this condition is true, okay, then run. But there is no condition in the for loop. It will run for any condition. It will run till you matches this one. But while loop will run only for your true condition. You will understand in the coming sessions, coming classes, why I'm telling you this, that why while loop is, sometimes while loop is better, sometimes for loop is better. Now suppose what happens, so code is very very much big. This is a your bracket starts here and your bracket ends here, and you by mistake do forget to do this. Okay, now what happen? It will go in the infinity
Mm,
because increment part is not there, decrement part you can say. So it 10 will never become 9. It will always remain 10, and 10 is greater than 0. So it will go in the infinity loop. It will
yes.
never come out of the loop. This is a drawback of while loop because now you see, right now it is not giving me any error. No, it is not giving me any error that you have error in your code. It will just go into the infinity. It will go to the infinity. It will just print, print, and print. This is the drawback of the while loop because initialization, condition, and decrementation or incrementation is in the different lines. Okay, this you have to give, but this is not a mandatory one. Okay, that's why the for loop is better than while loop. But in some cases, you can say while loop comes very much handy.
Okay.
Okay, now if you can, I want you to try the sum of first 100 numbers using for loop right now.
Okay. Uh, shall I give you the, like I had opened my
Mhm.
Visual Studio. Shall I give it to you the code? Like I'll try here only
You can
for
just you can give me the command. I can
come. Okay.
print it for you.
Okay then. For
Mm,
int 1 to 100, right? You're
yeah,
asking.
yeah.
Okay. Uh, so instead of 10, what you can do, you can give it as less than or equal to 100.
Okay. Mhm. Okay.
Then we can print 0 to 100.
No, I want the sum of first 100 numbers.
Oh, sum of first 100. Okay, okay.
Mm,
So here in for loop we can write uh,
don't go for the Google.
no, not going for the Google. Here we can
Mm,
initialize new
yeah.
variable saying sum
Okay. Where should I declare it?
uh, about to the console right line in the for loop.
Okay. Say int
Sum,
sum. You want to declare new
uh,
variable sum.
yeah, sum int sum is equal to
Mm-hmm.
uh, so here j is the 0.
Try it.
Uh, shall I like no no here if you say sir j is the 0, so you want 0 plus 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
uh, so sum is equal to j.
Okay.
uh,
Now one thing, I'm just giving the hint. Every time J will increment it. J first time when it comes to the back, first time it is 0, then it
yes, yes.
come back
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
then it become 1, then 2, the
yeah,
3. Okay.
yeah.
Mm,
uh, so now you can write console write line sum no 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 j
mhm.
0 plus 0. Mm, console write line sum plus j
Where?
console write line.
J. Yeah. What should I write now?
less than 100, first it will pick, it will come like j is equal to 0, then console like sum is 0, some value is 0.
Yeah, I will
uh,
just give you some example. I'm going to hint you, but you have to promise me that you are not going to look in Google right now. You have to,
Seriously, I'm not looking into
yeah.
Google.
But
Okay.
if you, because if you look at the Google, you will not understand my point.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Okay?
I'm not looking into Google.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what
Now,
I'm doing is like I had my Visual Studio opened where I'm
yeah,
trying.
okay. Now I want you to sum of first 100 number. Now this is for loop.
Yeah.
And this is a for loop. Just you have to imagine that this square is a for loop. Now I know that every time loop will go from here to here and it will come back to here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and every time first it will be 0, then it will be 1, then it will be 2, then it will be 3, it will be 4, then 5, then 6, and so on. Okay, now I
Yeah.
want to add these numbers. Suppose in the first loop, you are going for the sum variable
Yeah.
and you are declaring some variable inside the for loop. Now let take us example when we are declaring some variable inside the for loop. Now I am declared this variable in the sum loop. This sum, suppose I have declared it as 0. Okay, I have declared int sum equal to 0. Now this sum variable will store the value. Now what happens, I say whenever this loop runs for the first time, say sum equal to sum plus I. Okay. Now what is this sum? Now sum equal to sum plus I. First of
Yeah.
all, when it goes for the first time loop, sum is 0,
So 0 plus 0.
0 plus 0. Okay, now
Yeah.
the sum becomes 0.
0.
Okay. Now it will go for the loop first loop loop will go back again to the starting point. Now
Yeah.
what is I becomes 1.
1. Yes.
Okay,
0 plus
but
1.
if you see again, this will declare again because it is inside the loop. Again it will go to 0. I will increment to 1. Suppose what I'm going to do, whatever you have done, I say here declare it in sum equal to 0, sum equal to sum plus I.
I. That should be declared outside the loop.
Yes,
Yeah.
that should be declared outside the loop.
The loop. Yeah.
That's my point. It should be declared outside the loop so that
Loop. Yeah.
whenever the loop come back to its original points, it will not be initialized again and again.
Again, again, again. Yes. Yes.
Okay, this way you can get your. But here you don't have to write console dot write some here. You have to write here.
Outside the loop. Yeah.
Okay, now if I run this, now you see 5050,
50. Yeah.
and if I go here, sum of first 100 numbers 5050.
50. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be thinking in your mind. You have to think that whatever I'm doing now, if you see that you have declared sum inside the for loop, so whenever it comes to the starting of the loop, sum will always go to 0.
Yeah. But actually, yeah, as you're
Suppose
correct, like,
now suppose if I do this, so right now it will give me error. I know, but what will be the last word it should print?
what would be the,
Last word, last number. Now it will print for every time. Every time the loops goes, it will
yeah,
print for
yes, yes, 100
yeah.
plus 100.
You say 100 plus 100. Okay, let's run this. What will the last, I have questioned you the what will the last number it should print? And you
Last number.
says, yeah,
Yeah.
it's you, and you are saying 100
Like
plus
no,
100.
no, it will be print in sequence, right? One zero plus zero, next
Mm-hmm,
one plus one, like 100,
mm-hmm,
like in sequence it will be
mm-hmm,
printed.
mm-hmm. So what should be the last number it should print?
100 plus 100.
Okay, let's do it. 100 plus 100, 200. But if you see it prints 100.
Okay.
Why? Because every time sum is 0, 0 plus 1, 0 plus 2, 0 plus 3, 0 plus 9, 0 plus 10, 0.
But here
Because
sum is oh, sum is zero. Okay, okay. What I said is sum is j, right? I write at starting.
just understand the question. What will the last number in this condition?
Oh, okay, okay. That can
Okay.
it. Okay, I didn't see this properly. Actually, what I'm
Yeah.
thinking is sum is equal to j. Then that case, sum will be sum plus like zero plus zero, like that. I thought. Okay, yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Suppose if you say sum is equal to z, sum equal to j. So what should be the last number it should print? You
It
say
will be
100 plus 100 plus
100.
100.
Uh,
Okay. Now let's run this again.
oh, why it is not printing nothing?
You said that it will print something, but it is
Oh no,
not
no,
going to
no. Sum is declared two times, right?
No, it is declared one time. So it will give you an error. It will not print anything. So
Why?
you see, I can't right now. It is difficult for you to understand this point because you have declared. Suppose I will go by this. Let's run this by J. Okay. Now if I run this, okay. Now what is J? J is 0. I will
Yeah,
press F10. Now sum is
zero
0.
plus zero. Mm.
Now sum is 0, sum is 0, 0 plus 0. Now it will not print any, it will not print you something. It is right now it is hard for you to understand why it is not printing, but never do this thing. Every time you should declare with some variable. Suppose if you say it's sum equal to 1, but no, it will give you an error. Just right now, just go for this that you have to declare it with some 0 and it should be outside this one. You will going to understand why it is not printing. It's a simple mathematic thing. Right now, I'm not going to confuse you in that, but you have just have to remember that if you suppose in your interview somebody asks you to can say write a method in for loop to print first sum of first 100 numbers, so you can do this. Now, can say you have to print the sum of say first prime numbers till 100. You have to sum of prime numbers till 100 number. You know what is prime number?
Yeah, one.
Uh, sum of prime numbers till
Like odd, 2 3 4 2 3 2 3
two,
5 7. These are only prime
yeah,
numbers, right?
yeah, 2, 3, 5, 7,
7, 11.
11, 13, 17,
Yeah.
19. These are the prime numbers. So
Yes.
you have to, you can say, invent a method in which there is a loop. Loop will work. You know that it will 0 to less than equal to 100.
Mm, mm,
Okay, so
mm,
you have to
mm.
invent a method, but don't go for Google. Because if
Yeah.
you want that your brain should work like that, so you have to try with yourself.
Seriously, I'm not going with the Google, okay? Because I
Okay.
am here to learn, right?
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah,
want you to try it. I
yeah, yeah,
know
yeah.
if I know 10% will go on the success, 90% will not go on the success rate. Maybe on your side, maybe it will be 70% of the success rate. So you have to find it by your side
Yes, sure,
that
sure.
you have to find prime numbers till 100 digit and add those prime digit.
Okay. So 135. Difference of prime number is 2.
No, because I see, if you see 2, 3, 5, 7. Now, 8 is not a, you can say prime number, 9 is not prime number, 10
No,
is
no,
not
no.
a prime number.
What I'm saying is difference of
Hmm.
two prime numbers is 2, right? Value. Like sorry, 3.
Hmm.
Uh 1 minus 3. 2 is
Hmm.
the 2 is the value. Then 5 minus 3 minus 5. 2 is the
Okay.
value. 5 minus
Okay.
8.
But 8 is not a prime
Sorry.
number.
5 minus 7. 2 is the value.
Okay. Okay.
7
7 minus
minus
7,
9.
11.
So
11.
so every prime number, two prime number minus value is 2.
No, no, no. 7 is a prime number. Now, after that, the 11 number is a prime number. 8 is not a prime. 9 is not a prime. 10 is not a prime. So, 7 minus 11 is a 4.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
you have to invent method. Okay. So, this is your work for the today's class. You have to find a method, okay,
sure.
in which you can get that number that it is a prime number or not. And you have to add that prime number till 100 number.
100. Okay. So total value should
Mhm.
be there, or
Total value, the price suppose
sum
2
of
plus,
prime numbers value.
yeah, sum of
Okay.
prime number 2 plus 3, you can
Plus,
say 5, then 7, then plus 11, plus 13, plus I think 17, then 19, then 23. These are all prime numbers. I think so. Then 29. Okay, so you have to find a way to find a that this is a prime number or not. Okay, and you have to add that prime number to the previous number so that you can add the prime numbers till 100. Okay.
so the what I'm saying is odd. Okay, odd number 7 9.
No,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
Prime
That's why,
number is
yeah, prime number is different thing.
yeah. Prime number. The logic is like
Prime number,
some divisible multiple or
yeah, the
two
prime,
two
the definition of prime number is the number,
divisible, that divisible by itself.
number divisible by itself or by one only.
By one only, right? Yeah, divisible by itself or by one. So in that case, okay, I'll write and give
Yeah.
you the code. Yeah, I'll write and give you the code.
Okay, just go for the logic that what is the logic behind this. Suppose you have to find the prime number. Suppose you have a program where you have to find the prime numbers. Okay, so you have to build that logic in your code. Okay, so these are prime numbers. Now after that, if you achieve this, you can go for the uh, addition of odd numbers
Okay,
and then even
good.
numbers in a different loops. Okay, you
Yeah.
can after this I want you to try it first. I know it will be difficult, but I want you to try it first. Then it will be very easy for you. This one. Okay. Now, the question is that this is your, you can say, your task, but just come back to our for loop. This is the task is for your, you can say, the homework side.
Okay.
Now, come back to your for loop. Now, why the question is that where we use for loop in Selenium. Okay, and you have answered this question previously that this will come handy in when you say rows and column. Okay, now you say suppose we have an Excel in which we have some, say, username, then password, then email, okay, then zip code. Okay, now these are the things. Suppose this is a username, this is a password, this is the email address, and this is a zip code. And suppose you have something like this, and you have some emails, and you have some zip codes. Okay, now you know that when we say loops, so now we have get the number of rows. First, we loop through the row, then the column. If you know, if you have you ever do this type of thing that you have to can say iterate through each row and then each column. Have you done this or not?
Yes, yes. Like while building some matrices, I had done while learning
Suppose
Python.
int rows equal to
Rows.
I will say 6, okay, and say int calls equal to 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I say over here, I will start with the 0, so I will say calls equal to 3 and rows equal to 6. First, I will iterate through row
Rows.
for int say d equal to 0 and say d is less than rows d plus plus, and inside the loop I will have another loop, say for
Yeah.
uh, int g equal to g less than colon and g
Yeah.
plus plus.
Plus,
What will
yes.
it do? It will first go with come to this row.
No.
Okay, then go with this column,
The
then this
column.
column, this
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it will come out this loop. So it will come out the first row, then go for the second row.
Second row. Yes.
Okay, so this way we can go with say rows and columns.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will come handy. For loop will come handy. Now we cannot go with the while loop in this. We can
Mhm.
go, but in the later part. But yeah, for loop is better in this condition when we
Okay.
work with the Excel. So we know
Mm-hmm.
the rows, we know the columns. So for loop will come handy in this type of thing.
Mm.
Okay. Now moving to the next topic, which is known as arrays. Okay, I will just make another class. I don't want to mix up with something. So I will make another class and
So you
say
had showed how to change the property, right? So how it is like if I want to use make the class as main
startup class.
startup class. So how to do this properties?
Yeah, just I will add one more class. I will just
Yeah.
show it to you again, and I
Okay.
will again uh, add my main method to it. And now there is, if I want to this class to be my startup class, go to my solution explorer, right click on my project, okay, go to properties, and here startup object. Now it says loop studies here. If you say array study, select it and close this. Now array studies class will act as a startup class. Okay. Now sometimes what happens, we have suppose string username and it says something like this. Okay, now say string password and it says like password. Okay, and say string email equal to suppose email at the rate gmail.com, and say string zip code and say something like this and this. Okay. Now, sometimes you have a lot of data. If you see, now when I go for the for loop, every time we have a new username, new password, new email for every row. Okay. Now suppose this type you have 100 fields. Now you have to store this data in something which is known as array. So what is an array? It's a just small definition. Basically, memory location where you can store multiple values. Array is a memory location, basically a memory location where you can store multiple values. Now I will show you the can say your two-dimensional array. Say first of all, I will just declare say string how to suppose say str1 equal to new string and say 2 comma 5. What is this 2 comma 5? So this uh, type string to string, I think so. Wait a minute. uh, why it is giving me error? Hmm, I think so. Rows. Yeah. Now this is the thing. Now this is how to declare and 2D. What is this 2D array? Now, what are the thing I have done here? I can say go with the paint. I will just show you what is this two-dimensional array. So this is this is exactly the same as your Excel. You have rows and columns in your two-dimensional array. First, so now I have four columns. First column represent username, then password, then email, and then zip code. Okay. So whatever I'm going to suppose if I want to write here, now it says suppose the name of my array is str. Now it says str 0 comma 0 and give the value. What will the value? Suppose the value is xxx. Whatever. Now here this second value will represent as 0 comma 1. Str 0 comma 1. Now 0 comma 1 means zeroth row, first column. Now it starts with the zeroth. So this is the first column which is 0. Now first column which is your password and say password is like password. And then suppose there is str 0 comma 2. So it will represent as email, whatever the email is, email at the rate gmail.com. Okay. So this is a and zip code. So similarly, str 0 comma 3. Okay, and say and this is the whatever the now what should be this represent as str? What will be this row?
1 comma 0.
Yes. And what should be this row?
uh, 2 comma 2.
Yes, exactly. 2 comma 2. This is how you represent an array.
Yeah.
Understand my point? You store
Yes, yes.
multiple values. Like what we have done here is it's just like a same, but you should know how to iterate through
If I,
each cell in
mm,
arrays. Okay. Now, right now, I'm not going to read any data. I'm just going to give you introduction that what is two-dimensional array. This is known as two-dimensional array.
yeah.
How? Okay. So this is how you stored values in your array. Okay. Now, sorry. I have declared now. This is here. Str and my new string. Yeah. Sorry, that's my mistake. 3 comma 4. Now, what is 3? What is 4?
Third row,
3,
fourth column.
no, no, no. When I declare the new array, 3
Okay.
comma 4 means 3 will represent number of rows in,
Ah, okay. Number of rows.
okay, and 4 will represent number of
Column.
columns.
Yeah.
Okay, in our case, if I say now it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 rows. So I will say 4 comma 4. This is how this 2D dimensional array will be declared as this.
In like a small doubt,
Hmm.
we'll go like we'll should start with zero, right? Like there are only three rows,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. When I go for the, yeah, you have, there are 4 rows. But when I start with 0, I will never say for int I equal to 0. I is less than 4, not less than equal to 4.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, then it will say 0, 1, 2, 3.
Three.
It will never touch the 4.
Yeah.
However, it is started with 0, 1, 2, 3. So it is counted as 4. But it will never touch the fourth.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we started with 0 and it is says less than 4, less than equal to 4. No, it is less than 4. So it will never touch the fourth part. Now, what is the, you can say, deficiency in this array? Can you tell me?
Uh, Come again. Deficiency.
Yeah,
I didn't.
what is the problem? Why we cannot use uh, this type of thing? Now, say, suppose I will just declare first row. It says tier as 0 comma 1. Okay, and say this. Okay, then say str. You can say 0 comma 2. This is the password. Okay, and say password. Okay, and say similarly 0 comma 3 and email, and say 0 comma 4 and say zip code. I say 1 2 3 or something like this.
Uh,
Okay, now tell me what is the drawback of this array? Now, if you see my zip code, I have taken it as a string.
yeah.
Okay, now suppose if I want to store this zip code as integer,
Like you
but
can give int. Right.
I have declared this string array as a string. I cannot store integer values inside the string. This is a drawback of this array.
Okay.
You
Okay.
cannot store int values in string. You cannot
Mm,
store string values in integer. Now, this is a string array. I can
yeah.
declare it as a, you can say, int array. Then I can store only integer values. Now, you see, it will give me an error. Cannot able to convert type string to int. Okay. So, this is the drawback of this array, that you cannot
Okay.
store different values.
Different.
Now,
Okay.
now here comes your, can say, your you know what type of thing we should we use for this type of
What type of?
thing we are going to use for to eradicate this problem. Now the deficiency is like if string array cannot hold integer value, or you
Mm.
can say any another value, or any other value other than, you can say, string. Okay, it can only hold string values. Similar integer array can hold integer value. Bool array can hold only bool value. Suppose there
We
is
can
a,
convert it, right?
how can you convert it? But this
Me-
there is a thing. But if you see, I want to store integer. I don't want to convert it. Now, if I want to say here, I want to store it like integers. So first I have to convert it, then I have to deconvert it. So this is a lot of messy thing because right now it is the only one row. Suppose there are 1,000 rows. So every time I have to convert it, then I have to deconvert it. Convert it, deconvert it, convert it. And so it will be very messy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is your second part. You have to find out what type of thing we have to use to eradicate this problem.
Okay. What type of
I'm
thing?
We
Okay.
have to use to eradicate this problem.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, I just want to just search out this thing, that what type of thing we have to use to eradicate this problem.
Okay.
There is another thing which you can say it is like a array. I'm just giving you a hint that it is another array. Okay, you can store any value. You can store string, you can store int, you can store bool, you can store double, you can store any value. Whether it is, you can store five different values in same thing. Or you can say, I will give you one more hint, but no, we will get confused. It is like the same thing, but you can store any value, like it's string, like it's integer, like double, like float, like bool, like char. You can store any value, any different values in this. Okay.
Okay.
If you want me to tell you, I can tell you right now.
No, no, no. I'll search it. I'll just go some hands on it,
Mm,
and I'll say it
yeah.
tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
No, it is
No,
query for tomorrow only, right? Or now you want
uh,
to say?
no. It's a query for tomorrow. You have two things for today as well. First, you have to go for the sum of prime numbers till 100, and if you achieve this, then go with this. You can say 100, addition of odd numbers and even numbers till 100. Okay, again, I'm saying till 100. This is your. If you do this, then do this.
Okay.
Okay. Suppose if you are unable to do this, then try to do this, and if you do this, then try to search for this one.
Okay.
Okay, that what is that other thing that can eradicate this problem? The string array can hold integer value. So what is the thing that can hold multiple values? Okay.
So the first one is like sum of prime numbers. Second
Yeah,
one is
till
like sum of odd
if you
numbers, right?
yeah, first so addition of odd numbers till 100 and even numbers, that you have to do it differently. The first method is for odd numbers, second method is for even numbers till
Even
100,
number till 100.
till
Okay.
100, and the sum of prime numbers till 100.
Okay. Okay. I'll write. And this one, what the thing if we
Yeah,
want to store different type of
that
variables,
different type of
i-
data.
so different type of data into an array.
Yeah, how
Okay.
can we achieve
Okay.
this?
Okay.